guys, welcome back. Down in the basement, it's a little bit later, about 8:30. I want to get this G07 recapped and a new flyback put in it for Spy Hunter. And then we are going to replace the capacitors on the board itself. The guy who owns the game bought a capacitor kit for the board, and I messaged Jeffrey, who fixes these boards for me, and he sent me a picture and circled the ones of these tantalum caps that need replaced on the board itself. You can replace those tantalum caps with regular capacitors. So we'll just replace them with regular ones. I do have some tantalum caps, but I don't know that I have the right size. Some more parts came today from Amazon. I ordered some more of these leg levelers. Now, on these ones, these are the cheaper thread-in ones where you pound them into the wood. These still work as long as you put a screw next to them, and I'll show you that in the future. But I bought the cheaper ones with these rather than the screw-in ones because I have a bunch of the round ones that have 3 screw holes. So I figured I needed the legs themselves more than I needed the other parts. So I ordered 2 packages of these. These are 3/8 heavy-duty leg levelers, and they have like a plastic, maybe a little rubbery-ish plastic material on there. So I got some more of those. I bought a double pack of micro SD cards, and these are for the 2 circuit boards I got from Arcade Jason. The Space Dual. You need to put this in the Space Dual, and then I got it for the Quantum board too. What these do is when you put them in there, it's going to save your settings and your high scores and stuff like that. So you can get a 2-pack of these on Amazon for $9. Same thing when I ordered those. I ordered the legs at the same time as that, and I ordered a 6-pack of bulbs from Amazon. You can get a 6-pack for $20 plus tax and stuff like that. A little bit cheaper than Arcade Shop. I think Arcade Shop charges $6 a bulb. I didn't even open these to look at them. I looked at the numbers, so they should be correct. So if you guys have a bunch of games, you can buy this in a 25-pack. Okay, you can get a 25-pack of these for like $75. The difference in price is basically if you buy 4 6-packs is equivalent to the price of a 25-pack. So basically you gain 1 extra bulb. And I don't think I need 25 bulbs right now laying around, but we'll see. But they package them nicely. They package each bulb in some foam, and then they put them into the cardboard sleeve and then into the box. So they should be good. So if anybody needs bulbs, $20 plus tax on Amazon for a 6-pack. Oh. You can get them in Arcade Shop too, which I do buy it from Arcade Shop sometimes too, but I'm not just going to order light bulbs for them because I'm going to pay more for their light bulbs plus shipping than it would be for me to just, if I already have an Amazon order going, I just order them through there because I already have an order going. So I got my cap kit here. Gonna get this opened up, get my marker, wherever the heck that might be. My table is always a mess. It's always a mess. I'm always doing something. So I'm gonna fast forward while I'm doing this. We're gonna just kind of blow through this. You've seen capacitor kits be installed many a times, so it's not like we need to do a detailed video on it. I'll probably come back when I go to do the flyback. Is my marker even in here is the question. Do I have another one? Gotta have a pen or something around here. I need to clean this. The problem is that I work on monitor chassis and stuff, and I'll swap parts, for instance, like, you know, one of these for a K7000. This is I forget what this is. But here's like a hot. And a lot of times, some of these won't be bad. I'll pull them out and just double check them, and they won't end up being bad, and I'll just swap them for another one just to verify it. So chances are, some of the stuff sitting on the table, I got to go through it and actually double check it to make sure it isn't bad before I throw stuff away, because I'm obviously not going to throw stuff away. That's good. All right, I'm going to find a pen, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to blow out this capacitors, and then we'll move on to the flyback, and then we'll work on the board. Somebody asked me, and I totally forgot about it. Somebody asked me, hold on. Somebody had asked me if I could show them how the board set goes together on the metal plates and the ribbon cables, and I totally forgot. I said, sure, I'll do a video on it, and I completely slipped my mind. So I will show it when I take these apart to do the capacitors. So if you haven't figured it out yet, which I'm sure you have, it'll be on there. I'll make sure I make a point of it. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy recapped. Okay, now we're gonna pop out this flyback. I might have to change the tip on my desoldering gun. I gotta see how big these pads are on this. Check that first. Let's see. Yep. Then I have to switch it back for the circuit board. Oops. This desoldering iron has seen better days. It's wearing out. Just the gun itself. I need a new gun. Get the damn thing apart. Might be too hot. Oh, I got it. Yep, this part fell off. Okay, let that warm up. I got like spider web on me and I can't get it off. Walked into a spider web. So you got to pry off this one rubber boot here. Trying not to rip it. We need that boot to put back on the other one. Now there's one capacitor on this board on a G07 that is marked backwards on the bottom side, on the solder side. And you have to make sure that you pay attention to that. It's 303. And you have to make sure you pay attention, because if you're looking at the back side of the board and you put it in that direction, it's going to be backwards. They really wrap this one around. Finally found the hole, I think, in the metal tab. Pop out this flyback. We got a screw, I think, holding it in. Yeah, 2 screws. Same thing with everything else. When we put the new one in, we want to make sure that we screw it in before we solder it in. Now, if you look here, there's a slot here for this wire to come up, okay? And I always make sure that you put it through that on the new flyback. Why they don't put it through there, I don't know. You'd think that they would just do it automatically. So you just route it up through here. Before you solder it on. Now we gotta get it in place. All right, that's in. Screw it down. Don't screw it in too tight because it'll just strip the plastic out. Let's put this wire on first. Or I cut it a little bit. Does not need to be that long. Slide your boot back over it. All right, now we just gotta solder in the flyback. And this is done. You want to use a decent amount of solder, kind of like they did from the factory, a nice big puddle around the post. All right, so this monitor is capped in a new flyback. So we are done with this. That can go back out in the shop and get installed. Stick it under here. All right, now we're going to work on this board. So basically, somebody was asking about the ribbon cables. Now, how I do it is there's a stripe. You can put the red stripe on pin 1 or you can put it on pin 24. It doesn't matter. But you just have to make sure that stripe, if it's on pin 24, that it stays on pin 24 on the other side, which it should. I really don't know how you'd get that backwards. I guess it's possible. Anything's possible. But, so we want to unscrew this board. That only had 2 screws in it. So we got to change these 4 capacitors, and then okay. All right, it's not on, it's on the other board, I think. Is it? Which board's it on? Oh, it is on this board. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Yes. Okay. So we have to replace. He circled them here for me. Our C201. We need to replace this one, the one above it. So these two here. Can't see the number on this one. It's underneath tightly. This one is I think that's CP204. I'm not positive. I'll see if I can see them when I take it apart. So we gotta replace that one and this one. All right, that's those two guys. And then we have to replace. He wasn't sure if this was an actual sit down one or a sit down one, and it is a sit down one. So this board is a little bit different than the upright board. This will say sound IO board with panning, and it has to say panning because it has the 4 speakers. I believe that's why it says that, because you have speakers behind you and also in front of you. Now in the regular upright one, you won't have that, and there's another set of these plugs right over here too. So it is a little bit different. So now we have to change this guy, which is in a different spot. So we have this one and this one. Trying to distinguish here because the boards are definitely a little different. Quite a bit different, actually. So we have this row, we have this row. I think it's this one right here. Let me see if he gave me a note or not. He says the ones in the corner of the board, if each board never go bad. He used to replace them, but he doesn't anymore. But he gave me the kit, so we're going to do what he wants, and we're going to put new ones in. I mean, he gave me the kit, so let's just pop them out and change them. Is it going to hurt anything? No. If it's a true cockpit board, the soundboard will be panning, which right here it says panning. The third circled cap is in a slightly different spot. So I'm pretty positive that's it right there, because on the regular board, it's up right here. All right, and I know that because on the regular board, it's actually, on the regular board, it's right here, right next to this chip, okay? So I'm pretty confident it's right here. It's that guy right there. So let's do the 4 outside corners. These 4 guys, I think they're all the same value. This one's dented in pretty good, so it's not going to hurt at all to change them. My board has the original one still. So looks like we have positive going that way on all 4 of them. The arrow is going that way. So it's pointing towards negative maybe, because that shows positive. Where's that? No, I was right. That positive's for something different. Positive here, positive here, positive here, and a positive there. So these caps are 470 16 volt, all 4 of them. So we need 4 of those out of the kit. These are axial caps versus a regular capacitor. So we need 4, what did I say, 470 16? So they probably gave me 470 25s is my guess. Let's see what the paper says here. So this is the Super Sound IO. Oh wait, these I got to replace the capacitors on the soundboards too. Okay, so these do the soundboards as well, which I don't have in here right now. I'll grab those. But let's see what we got here. They gave us 470 35 volts. I didn't realize this kit did all of them. Okay, we got our 470 35s. Did I change this out? Nope. Sit here talking and I forgot to change this back out. I love changing it when it's hot. Oh boy. Don't want that sitting on the board long. Luckily, it was only at 200 and some degrees at that time. We're doing that guy. We need this guy back. Should be cool by now. A little warm. I've drank 6 bottles of water so far today. It was 90 degrees today with a heat index of 98, I think it said. Tomorrow's supposed to be a heat index of 101. Where's my cleaning tool? Maybe we can use a capacitor leg for now. That worked. All right, let's pop these guys out. We're going to unplug this board. Okay, take this off. So this is your sound I/O board, okay? This is the only one that's visible on a 3-board stack, okay? And you have your metal plate, and then you have your middle board here, which there's more capacitors on it, so we'll have to get to that one next. And I'll show you how those come apart next. I think we got to flip it over and do it from the back side. So let's grab these 4 out. And let's just put one back in at a time. Positive goes towards the top of the board. Negative down. I'm so freaking dirty. Just about finished up that next apartment I'm working on. Finishing it tomorrow afternoon. I like to put my capacitors in when I can with the arrows pointing upwards so you can see which direction they go. Doesn't matter. I just do it like that and then I make them all the same. capacitors are longer than the originals. You know what I find weird? Is Q101 right here. It's missing. Why is that missing? Hopefully Jeffrey's watching this and he can respond and say it's not needed, or it's needed and it's missing. It's a tip 110, and I don't have any of those. I'd have to order it. But I wonder, I don't know. I don't know if that's why it's missing. All right, let's take out this guy here and we'll see what number is actually underneath it, what it says, because I can't read it. Okay, it's C172. And let's see what size it is. I think all three of these are the same size. Maybe like a 10 UF50 or something like that. I don't remember. Can't see it. Old man magnifying glass. There's a scratch or something right in the middle of the damn writing. I think it says 25 volt something. Let's take out another one. They should all be the same. Just in case that's the first one I took out. Grab that. Yeah, this is CP204. Okay, it says 25 volt, but I don't know what size. I'm going to have to message him. I thought it was a 10 UF. 25 volt. Where's my phone? Hello? What size are those capacitors? C172, CP204. I can only read out 25 volt. Is it a 10 UF? I don't know if he's going to answer. I'm leaving him in order on here. just in case. But they all say 25 volt. Oops. I unsoldered a resistor. Put that right back. No harm, no foul. It's these two. Sweet. 10UF35 or 10UF50. Okay, cool. The tapered side of the tandem loom cap is positive, correct? Oh, never mind. It's marked. Okay, so he said a 10UF35. I knew it was a 10UF. I thought it was. He said a 35 or a 50. Okay. Let's see what we have here. 10UF50s. That's what it's getting. That's a 4.7. It's these guys in the back here. That's a 10UF100. Don't need hundreds. Could if we needed them. 10UF50. $10UF50. Yep. And I was correct. The tapered side does go to positive. Oh, this last one is C168. I sweated so much today, I'm like itchy. Just can't wait to take a shower, but I didn't want to take a shower before I got done with this because I just like to get everything I'm doing dirty for the day over with. All right, now we can solder all these guys on. actually going to send him a picture right now of that missing transistor. The pad's messed up on the back of this one. But it's okay, we can get it from the front side. That one's fine. That one looks okay, but we're going to put a little bit extra solder just to be on the safe side. Is Q101 supposed to be missing? All right. So if you, on these capacitors here, the bottom side doesn't do anything other than transfer solder. So if the pad is bad, you can get it on the top side. Okay, this board is done other than that. Waiting to see what he says about this tip. Looks like it's a 110. It's a tip 110. And I'm pretty confident I do not have a tip 110. I have a tip 31C, a tip 142. Don't know. All right, let's get down to the next board here. I don't think the very bottom, does the very bottom one have them? Yeah, I guess all three boards have them. Okay, so we have, so if you want to save yourself some hassle, you can write on this piece of cardboard here, okay? So we're going to write on here. We're going to write sound. And then we're going to write ribbon cables. And I put an arrow so that we know that this plate goes back on this way. And where it says sound, the sound sits on top of it. So, because we have to flip this over to get to the next one. I don't know what this is. It's like urethane or something. I don't know what. Somebody spilled something on there or what. Now these screws are going to be longer than the ones on the other side because these have to go through the plate and then there's a little spacer on the plate. And the two screws we're missing, I'll grab some more and put those in. Okay, now this one, we're going to write bottom. Now write ribbon cables. You barely even see that I wrote on it. Okay, so now we can get to this board here. All right, and this has two capacitors on it. This was originally repaired. It doesn't make any sense because it says warranty date 3/7/7. What the hell does that mean? Well, the game wasn't out in 1977, And as far as I know, there's no more than 31 days in certain months. I have no idea. And then it says EMP number 717. No idea what that means. Not used. Their first one is the only one used for coin counter. Looks like there was one in there and somebody pulled it. That's why I asked. Okay. So this we can probably leave the ribbon cables. We only have two 3500s here and here. Negatives are pointing towards my desoldering gun. 3500s. Here's one. And here's the other. Let's pop those guys out. It's hard for me to grab these things. They're so tight up against the board. These ones do not want to unsolder very easily. Probably going to have to use my soldering gun to put it back in. Man, maybe I can desolder it from this side. Not really. These ones are really shitty. One side through. Okay, that's one in. Got to solder it still, but it's in place. Probably just gonna use my desoldering gun on this one. Or my regular soldering gun on this one. Can't really see what I'm doing right now, but I'm sure you guys understand. This one's gonna fight me the whole freaking way. Got it. It's getting hot. Okay, so we have that one apart, or done. So now we have this last plate. So this is the middle plate. And then we have ribbon cable. I'll just put 3 R's. And I'll put 2 R's over here. Then I know which the orientation is of the metal plate. Just about done with this, and then I'll put it back together, and then I'll run out to the shop and grab the soundboards. There's a total of 3, I believe. 2 amplifier boards and the third one. I don't know if they're all 3 considered amplifier boards or anything or not. But these screws here on the middle plate are the same length as the bottom plate. The only screws that are shorter is the top plate. So what I'm going to do here, hopefully, see, just take this board possibly and stick it like this. Can I leave it like that? And just get to these like this. I think so. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. Got the camera kind of zoomed in. Positive goes that way. 470 16, so these are probably 470 35s. Again, 470 35s. Go. So why these ones can be hard to desolder is on the back of these boards, these traces, it's like it gets wrinkly looking, and the desoldering gun doesn't want to get a good hold of it, you know. Like this side. That's why if you heat the leg up, you'll be able to pop it out. Okay, it's my first 2 done. clean my gun. Where's that little poker thing at? I don't know why I can't find anything. Damn thing's gonna fight me the whole way through. Now you can sort of see what I'm doing. Just trying to keep it kind of zoomed in so you can see a little bit better. Okay, now we can put these back together. So technically, this is the middle board. this guy goes like this. How did I figure that was going to happen? I got too cocky. Thought it was going to go. Figured I'd tighten all three up. Nope. Can't do that. They all have to be loose. Okay, now this is the bottom board. At least that's what I call it. And then we have our plate here. And goes this way. Didn't I write on? Yeah, I wrote bottom. And then I wrote ribbon cables. Because there's no ribbon cables on this side, the ribbon cables are on that side. Then we have 4 more long screws. Somehow I've lost one. There it is. Okay, flip it over, and now this is the sound, and then it says ribbon cables this way, and we know that it goes this way, like that. Let's plug our ribbon cables in. I think I honestly usually put the red one on one. But you know what's funny is they have a label on these ribbon cable ends, and the number 1 is just gray, and then A is the other side. So I don't know. It doesn't matter as long as they're all going the same way. Grab 2 more screws real quick. I don't remember if these are number 6 or number 8. But you can buy them at Home Depot, Lowe's. Okay, I'm gonna go grab those soundboards. Soldering guns will probably turn off. I'm gonna go grab those soundboards and we'll knock those out, and then we will be done with all the recapping of everything. I'm gonna take this back out to the shop and the monitor chassis and bring in those soundboards. Okay, here's the soundboards. So a regular MCR game will run one of these guys, okay? When you have a Spy Hunter, because this is a sit-down, you have 2 of these. A regular stand-up Spy Hunter will have 1 of these, and they also have this guy here. So this is sound. All 3 of these are for sound. So we have 3 capacitors on each one of these. Now, a real common thing that will tend to happen with these guys is you'll get a loud, like you'll get a hum or something like that going on. And I've experienced many a times with having a hum type interference sound, it's one of these orange guys right here. Okay. I don't know if the rebuild kit that you buy for these come with those or not. I don't remember. And I don't know, I think we have I don't know if we have enough caps for all these. I don't know that we have them for these little ones. I don't know what this big guy, what's this for? This is called the Cheap Squeak Deluxe board. Lamp driver board takes this big guy. Main CPU we did. So the main CPU is done. The video generator game board is done. Super Sound IO board is done. So we gotta do the Cheap Squeak board. Yeah, we do not have rebuild kits for these two. We're gonna leave them and see what happens. I don't have the driver board in here. I'll just do that off camera. I'm not gonna do that tonight. So we need 47 UF50. And we need a 100 UF35. This guy. And this is for the Cheap Squeak board, which I don't understand why they call it that. What does that mean? So this doesn't even replace all the ones on this either. So we have 4750 goes in C105 / C122. Don't go to sleep. I actually need a my smaller tip on that thing. I just don't feel like changing it. So we have negative going towards me. And that was C122. 4750. Okay. Okay. Wonder what? Oh, the absolute position board is that little circuit board. All right, and then we have CP16. How was that? Okay. There is another capacitor right here. We probably could change it. Let's see if I can see what size it is. I think that says 4750. Yeah, I don't think I see a point. 4750. Do I have one? Right there. Let's just change it. Negative goes that way. All right, they're changed on that one. Now, on a Journey, the tape interface board looks a little bit like this. Okay, it's about this size, and it has a bunch of tantalum caps on it. All right, And on a journey, when the tape deck turns on, if it has a bad hum, it's those tantalum caps. Now, you have to use a new tantalum cap. You cannot replace it with a regular axial cap. I tried, and it still hummed. So I had bought tantalum caps for that. I wonder if I even have them. And I thought I had a couple extra. Just looking to see if I can see where they are. Wanted to show you them. Yeah, right here, tantalum. And they were 15 UF 20 volt. These guys. So if anybody has a Journey, and when the tape deck turns on, it has a horrible hum in the background of the music, you got to replace these. I believe these came from Arcade Parts and Repair. I believe. I could be mistaken, but I thought that's where I got them from. So, all right. So we have the cap kit done on the main PCB. We have the cap kit done on the cheap squeak board. And I got to do the absolute position board, which is just one capacitor, which is a 10 UF50 right here. And then I got to do the lamp driver board, which is a 10 UF50, and this big guy 4725. So I'll just do that off camera, not a big deal. These we'll leave, see how they work. If everything sounds fine, we'll leave them alone. You can buy a kit for these, and it'll come with these 3 capacitors, and I believe it might come with these. I forget what those are called. I think it's just another form of a cap. But if it works, I would leave it alone. So we'll see what happens. And you could buy these too. These, I believe, are like the amplifiers for it. But they look to be in good shape. They don't seem to be any broken solder joints or anything like that. Looks like somebody reflowed all these pins already. Yeah, everything looks to be reflowed, so we'll see how it works. So, all right, guys, well, that's going to end this video. I think this is part 18. We are now officially ready to put the monitor in the game, get all the wiring harness back in the game, get the new power supply in there, put the circuit board in there, see if it works right. If not, we got to figure out what's going on with that. But we're not far off from finishing. The gas pedal will be here tomorrow. I got an email from UPS saying it should be here tomorrow. And the other marquee is coming tomorrow as well, as I shake you guys around. So we should be good to go. We should be able to wrap this thing up. It'd be really, really nice to get this finished by this coming weekend, but we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And other than that, kind of a boring video, but this is just part of the process. This is what it takes to get this stuff done. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.